Greetings and blessings. Thanks for taking the time out to check out my YouTube channel. Today I wanted to share my thoughts on a couple happenings. What's really going on? As we fight one another for the power and the glory, the kingdom gone to waste. Violence and crime is commonplace in these times. You can't build a foundation on a if and but. Out the dread. Real dread. These are some of the lines of the famous song "Jack Kingdom Gone to Waste" by Ernie Smith. Some of you will recall journalist Mutty Perkins often playing this very song on his radio show. In fact, this song was recorded in the 70s. It's like this song was written last week. I weep for my beloved country. Where is the love, Jamaica? Every day we read and hear about Jamaicans meeting sad ending. Last evening, the nation received the sad news confirming the finding of the body of missing Clarendon teacher Natalie Dawkins. This sent shockwaves across the country. Yeah? Shockwaves across the country. It is clear, very clear, that women are being targeted. No longer is a woman safe in Jamaica. Yeah? What has these women who are victims done to have their lives snuffed away? What have they done? I ask the perpetrators of these heinous crimes, don't you have a mother? Don't you have a grandmother? Don't you have a sister? Don't you have an aunt? Don't you have a daughter? Yeah? When you set out on your murderous quest, don't you see the image or images of these females flashing in your thoughts? What if another person was to do this to your family member or your female associate? If a woman don't want to engage in a relationship with you, I say to move on, brother man. There are many other females, yeah, who would gladly accept you for who you are. Yeah? I said some time ago that the women of Jamaica are too quiet as they see their fellow sisters being killed. Wake up, women of Jamaica. Let your voices be heard. Let your voices be heard from Negril Point to Morant Point. Yeah? Enough is enough. Yeah? Sad to say that I am seeing where women are turning away from engaging in relationships with men. They are fearful of being victims. Yeah? God created Adam and Eve, not Eve and Eve. Prime Minister Andrew Holness, what protection have you put in place to protect the women of Jamaica from these savages? You, Mr. Prime Minister, have to go to Parliament with strong legislation to our legislators to debate and pass as law. Mr. Prime Minister, you are not known to act swiftly. You tend to drag your foot. Yeah? Thereby displaying poor leadership. You're a weak fence. Yeah? You are like the Roman Emperor. Yeah? You are like the Roman Emperor Nero, who twiddling thumb. Yeah? Twiddling thumb. Yeah? Yeah. You know? While Rome burn. Yeah? Andrew, you think you're slick? You think you're slick? You take a journalist from Nationwide Radio. Yeah? You take a journalist from Nationwide Radio, commonly referred to as JLP FM. Yeah? And give him big position. Senior communication strategist. When in fact, your government bring Dennis Brooks as replacement for senior superintendent Stephanie Lindsay. Yeah? Not surprising. SSP Lindsay appears to be no longer in charge of communication. You know, in other words, she get kicked to the curb again. Yeah? Dennis Brooks appears to be elevated to the position of senior superintendent of police. I am not aware of Mr. Brooks having any formal training in policing. Though I am aware that there's a special provision that can get persons in. Yeah? Could this appointment be like musical chairs? Lindsay out and Brooks in? Yeah? The PM is known to have a couple of spin mouthpiece, or what we call spin doctors, as his allies. Yeah? Right? Could Brooks be the PM mouthpiece in the Jamaica Constabulary Force? Is this a situation where crime figures will be manipulated and the people in the country is told what the government wants them to know? I say to you, Mr. Holness, I say to you, Mr. PM, Tom drunk, but Tom no fool. Take the politics out of the police force. Take the politics out of the police force. Yeah? Moving on. I see where Deputy Prime Minister Dr. Horace Chang is listening to me and is now speaking openly about my suggestion for the government to take a serious look at increasing the social cadre, the social workers, the social workers cadre in the public sector. Listeners, my proposal is for the JCF to establish a mediation unit which should consist of no less than 150 trained social workers who are police officers. Each police station must have no less than 2 such trained persons. With these social workers working in the communities, citizens will have access to trained persons who will help them to diffuse situations that could lead to tragedy. Yeah? On another sad note, earlier this week, the Jamaica Gleaner reported a case whereby a family, a teacher and a police officer, lost a baby at the now infamous University Hospital. Could this loss be avoided? I don't know. I am not a medical doctor. However, my limited knowledge with my limited knowledge, I am of the view that this loss could be avoided if proper medical care was effected. If the report of his mother is truthful, the actions of the nurses could be considered as uncaring. It must be noted that the mother singled out one nurse who showed some compassion. I call on the government to establish an independent investigatory agency similar to Indicom, to investigate situations where patients die under questionable circumstances. I still remember hearing the sad voice notes of the nurse who was a COVID-19 patient at the KPH. Dying due to negligence. Persons working in the health sector need to know that they have a serious responsibility in providing health care. Failure to act professionally will result in serious consequences for their tardiness. That's how I see it. Say it ain't so.